समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
Pakistan has once again unveiled its most successful export product, narrative building. Yes, this time it comes wrapped around the JF-17 Thunder, a fighter jet that, according to the Pakistani media and some international media, has been sold to half the world, provided, of course, the world agrees not to ask for contracts, delivery schedules, or an actual aircraft. Every few days, a new country is added to the JF-17 customer list. Libya, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Indonesia, Azerbaijan. The only constant across these announcements is vocabulary, interest, intent, potential, and the evergreen, highly placed sources. So persuasive has this narrative become that Pakistan's own foreign ministry appeared caught off guard. Asked about reports that Saudi Arabia was converting the USD 2 billion into loans into a JF-17 deal, it politely admitted it had no idea what anyone was talking about. An awkward moment, like discovering you sold a Ferrari you didn't even remember owning. Much of this global selling spree has been reported by Reuters, often citing Pakistani military sources. Read together, the stories create the impression that JF-17s are flying off production lines and been dispatched worldwide, possibly by teleportation. Pakistan's defense production minister added to the mystery by telling the BBC that many countries were in talks and that when these aircraft are delivered, the world will know. A bold promise, given that delivery appears to be one part of the process nobody has actually witnessed yet. The most ambitious claim involves Libya, a country under a UN arms embargo since 2011. According to Reuters, Pakistan has agreed a USD 4 billion deal with the Libyan National Army for 16 JF-17s and 12 trainer aircraft. This raises an obvious question. Is Pakistan selling jets to a sanctioned country, or has it invented a new category of aircraft that does not count as arms until they physically exist? Either way, the announcement was celebrated as a strategic triumph. Details naturally were classified because nothing says credible defense export like a deal that cannot legally, diplomatically, or practically be explained. Officially, Pakistan has exported the JF-17s to exactly two countries, or let's say three. Myanmar ordered 16 aircraft in 2015. 7 have been delivered so far. All were reportedly grounded for extended periods due to technical issues and spare part shortages, suggesting the jet's most advanced feature may be its ability to remain stationary. Nigeria inducted 3 JF-17s in 2021, achieving what is currently the global high water mark for confirmed operational exports. Meanwhile, Pakistan announced a USD 4.6 billion deal to sell 40 Block 3 JF-17s to Azerbaijan last year. This builds on an earlier agreement whose details were unspecified, undisclosed, and judging by precedent, possibly still loading. Indian defense sources say the sudden flood of JF-17 success stories has less to do with exports and more to do with narrative management after Op Sindoor. According to them, these stories are designed to project victory, momentum, and global demand, none of which requires hangars. Sources in Pakistan say the real irritation is internal. The spotlight during the conflict fell on the Chinese J-10C, not the homegrown JF-17. The solution, if your jet didn't shine in combat, simply make it famous in headlines. Ironically, Indian sources also say that the JF-17 largely stayed out of the harm's way. Give credit where it's due, one said. The J-10s were doing the heavy lifting. The JF-17s were emotionally present, as one source said. There is, however, a minor obstacle to all these billion-dollar deals: math. PSC Kamra can produce around 20 to 25 JF-17s a year. Yet Pakistan's reported export commitments alone would require roughly 80 to 100 aircraft before supplying its own air force. A Pakistani economist summed it up on X: these are phantom jets, always on the horizon, never on the runway. And even this assumes Pakistan builds the jet end to end, which it doesn't. Key components come from China, the engines come from Russia. If production needs to increase, Pakistan must first wait for engines to arrive, where China allowing Moscow to pretend it has no idea what's going on. Aircraft manufacturing, defense sources point out, is not like printing brochures. You simply cannot add more optimism. You simply cannot add one line after the other. The JF-17 may well be a serviceable aircraft, but its greatest achievement so far is not air superiority, it is narrative superiority. In Pakistan's defense exports ecosystem, delivery is optional, contracts are confidential, embargoes are inconvenient suggestions, and success is measured in column inches. Until proven otherwise, the JF-17 remains the world's first fighter jet optimized not for combat but for headlines. For The Print, this is Snehesh Alex Philip. Do subscribe to our Print's YouTube channel for more such videos.